you alright? Welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, I'm Cecilia Jo, and today I'm going to try and do a little challenge, as you can tell by the title. So I counted my TBR the other day and realised how many books I've actually got, and I definitely need to try and make a dent in that. I need to get that down before I allow myself to buy any more books. So I see people doing these kind of challenges all the time, like reading so many books in so many days and things like that. So I'm going to try that out and read thrillers. I'm going to try and read 5 thrillers in 5 days. I think I'm going to choose 4 physical books and then 1 audio book, so that I have a little bit of a reprieve. You know, obviously it's a bit easier to listen to an audio book so you can do other things. So yeah, I'm going to try and read 4 books and listen to a book. So 5 thrillers, 5 days. So like I say, I've got 4 different ones. I want this one, I'm really excited to read. I've heard it's really good. And I don't think I've read a Frida McFadden book yet, but it's The Housemaid, and this is also on Kindle. So I think I might start with this one because I'm looking forward to reading it. It's meant to be really good. And like I say, it's on Kindle Unlimited too, so I think I will start with that, ease myself into it a bit more. Even though I've got the physical book, it's a lot easier to read on my Kindle than it is. The only sort of thing that's better with physical books than reading it on Kindle is that you can see your progress, you know what I mean? You can see exactly where your bookmark is and where you're up to. But anyway, yeah, The Housemaid, Frida McFadden, that's my first one. And then the second one, I have seen everyone read it. Whenever someone asks for like a thriller recommendation, this is what people seem to say. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. I don't think I've heard anyone say anything bad, but it's The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I'm gonna go for, whoops, Michaelides maybe, but The Silent Patient, that's my next one. Yeah, I've heard everyone talk about this whenever thrillers are mentioned, so I'm excited to read this one. I don't think any of the rest of them are on Kindle Unlimited, just The Housemaid, but I have got all the physical copies, so that's fine. So yeah, we've got The Silent Patient, and that's the second one. And then the next one is a YA one. It's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I know this is part of a series, and I have the second book, but I don't have the third. But I thought this would be a good one because it's YA. It tends to be a bit like easier to read, a bit easier to follow and stuff. I thought this might be a good sort of reprieve from like heavier ones, if that makes sense. But it's still a thriller, it's just a YA thriller, and like I say, part of a series, so this is book 1. So I think I might read this last, and then I can read the next ones then, maybe, so that it's still in my head. So yeah, I think I might read that one last. And then the last physical book I've got is It Ends at Midnight by Harriet Tice. I've heard this is good too. I think it's the author of Blood Orange. I've got Blood Orange, but I've not read it yet. But I've heard this one is quite good. It's quite like sort of a twist that you don't really see coming. So we'll see. We'll see if I can guess. But yeah, that's going to be the 4th physical book. And then like I say, I'll do 1 on audiobook. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get through them in 5 days. And then that's, well, it'll be 4 books ticked off my physical TBR. Whoops, so I can bring that down a bit. But yeah, let's just see how it goes. So I think the first book I'm going to choose is going to be The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. So yeah, let's just see how it goes. Okay, so I am on chapter 13 of this, page 69. And you can see I'm not even like a quarter of the way through it. And I am absolutely loving it. It is so good. So basically it's about Millie, who is our like main lead, that means the same thing, lead character. And she, you know, seems like she had a bit of a tough life. She's come out of prison, but we don't really know why she's been in prison, and she's got this job as a housemaid in this very posh house, very fancy house, that she's cleaning and looking after the kid, who seems like a bit of a brat. But her like bedroom that she's been given is in the attic, and there's only a lock on the outside of the door, which in and of itself is like, you know, get out of there. She's got people trying to hint at her that it's a bit of a weird place to be, a bit dangerous potentially. We just found out that the like mother of the household, who like doesn't have a job, doesn't really, just seems to be a lady of leisure at this point, takes antipsychotic medicine for bipolar, schizophrenia, that type of thing. So she seems very unpredictable at the moment, and it's almost like she's trying to make out to other people that Millie is like got issues, like she's the one that's like lying about things or like not understanding things, you know what I mean, like telling Millie to do one thing and then telling other people that she's not told her to do that, if that makes sense. So I'm really loving it so far. It's really easy to read, like really quite fast paced really, and yeah, I'm just like, I could quite happily just sit here and read it all in one sitting, which I know I'm reading it all today, but I don't want to move. I just want to sit and see what happens. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. Okay, I'm just putting it out there before I carry on reading, but I feel like I don't trust the husband. I don't trust Andrew. There's something going on there. I don't understand why he puts up with it all. I don't know, I can't explain it, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him. There's something going on. I think maybe we're presuming the danger is Nina because she's on the like medicine and stuff like that, but I actually think the danger is Andrew. Maybe. That's my suspicions so far. I actually can't believe she's just asked her if she needs help packing. The absolute cheek of that, after eavesdropping and then saying, do you need help packing? The absolute cheek of it. Bum bum bum. I just finished part 1. I didn't realise it was in parts, but yeah, I just finished part 1, about to start part 2. And the way that ended, I mean, it was obvious that that was bound to happen at some point, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen next. I mean, I feel like Millie is a little bit weird also. Like, I know she's the main character, it's all from her point of view, but I also feel like I don't trust her. Like, it's so bizarre. I just think it's so weird, everything that's going on. I'm just like, what? You know what I mean? I can't keep up with it. But the actual book is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I think the storyline is so good. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I'm so like invested in it, and it's written really like fast paced. I feel like I'm going to get through it quite easily. But yeah, I feel like I don't trust any of the characters. I'm fully invested in it, but I don't feel like I trust any of them. You know what I mean? Other than Enzo. I trust him, but the rest of them, even the little kid, I don't trust her. I don't trust any of them. So yeah, let's just see what happens in part 2. This book has just took such a weird turn. If you've read the book, I just got to the hair part and I'm like, I literally read it like, what? Like, what? I don't even think I can process what he's just asked her. Like, actually imagine someone asking you for that in real life. Or not asking, demanding it in real life. Like, what? What is happening? Okay, so I just finished and I absolutely loved this book. I think I loved the ending. I think it was perfect. I did not see it coming, how it ended. I think it really, like, I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know which characters to trust, who was right, who was wrong, what was going on. I did not see it coming. I absolutely loved it. I think it was written really well, really easy to read, like read it in a day. I think the writing was really good, but it also like had me really intrigued the whole time. Like I was really invested, wanted to know how the story ended type thing. I think the epilogue was really good as well, really well written, and just like rounded it all off perfectly. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I definitely recommend reading it. It's such an like easy thriller to read, and not one where I'm just, you know, some thrillers I think you're not really asked about any of the characters and you just want to know where the twist is going to be. It wasn't like that. Like I was really invested in it. So yeah, I definitely recommend reading it. I think I'll give it 4 out of 5 stars because there was a few little bits that I did see coming, but nothing like major. I didn't see the actual ending of it coming. So yeah, definitely loved it. 4 out of 5 stars for this one. Okay, I've decided instead of listening to an audiobook thriller, I'm going to read The Housemaid's Secret, which is a sequel to The Housemaid, because I feel like I'm invested now, you know. I want to read the next one. I want to see what it's all about. So it's still following the same character, Millie. It's still following her, so I'm not sure if it's going to end, if it's going to start, I mean, exactly where the other one ended, or if it's going to be a few years later, or I don't know. But it's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't have the actual physical copy, but it's on Kindle Unlimited, so yeah, I thought I will just read that instead, so hopefully it's as good as the first. Okay, I'm on chapter 8 of this book, and I just feel like if you've got an uneasy feeling and she's been through what she's been through in the first book, why would you not listen to that uneasy feeling and leave? You know what I mean? Why would you go back? If you've got an uneasy feeling, and like, learn from your past mistakes, do you know what I mean? Listen to your gut, listen to your instincts. If something's not right, don't go. Leave. After everything that's happened to her, just leave. I don't understand. Why are you still going? It's blowing my mind. So, I finished Housemaid's Tale last night, and honestly, I need to read some more Freida McFadden books because I absolutely love them both. I've heard people talk about, is it called The Inmate? So I think I need to read that one at some point. I need to get that. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. I feel like this one, I even more so didn't see the like twists and turns coming. I feel like it shocked me even more. I didn't prefer it as such, but it definitely shocked me more in the way that it's a thriller, you know. So yeah, Housemaid's Tale, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think that's what I gave the maid one to. Is it The Housemaid's Tale? And The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Tale. I think I gave them both 4 stars. So yeah, I absolutely loved them both. I definitely recommend them. But today, it's hard to talk about a thriller because obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but with the Freida McFadden books, I found that they were really easy to read. Like, I read them both in a day, and I wanted to like carry on reading it, you know. I wanted to finish it. It kept me intrigued the whole time. So yeah, I definitely recommend them both, and I'm excited to read more Freida McFadden books for sure. But now I'm on to the next thriller of the week, or the 5 days, so the third one, and I'm going to read It Ends at Midnight. I don't really know much about this book, to be honest. It says 3 friends, 2 bodies and a party to die for, so I'm assuming, well, it's a thriller, so I'm assuming someone's died and it's going to be like a bit of a whodunit. Oh yeah, someone's Closer magazine have described it as a perfect whodunit. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. I don't see people talking about this one everywhere, nowhere near as much as the Freida McFadden book, so I'm excited to see if it's any good. So yeah, this is the third one that I'm going to read. It Ends at Midnight by Harriet Tice. So I'm on chapter 12 of It Ends at Midnight, page 91, and I'm actually getting quite into it. It wasn't what I was expecting. I mean, I don't really know what I was expecting, to be fair, but it's definitely written very differently to the other books that I've read. It's kind of going between like present day and then 1989, but it's not doing it in a way where it's like every other chapter is a different year and you're a bit like, wait, where am I up to now? It's only like switched once in those 91 pages. So it's from a woman called Sylvie. It's from her like point of view. She's sort of narrating it, and it's about like, it follows like her and her best friend Tess, and Tess's husband Marcus, who is also like knows Sylvie, and then Gareth, who is Sylvie's partner, who I don't really trust. I feel like there's something about Gareth, but I don't know what it is, but I'm not vibing with him. But the others seem okay, like the others seem fine. Something like major has just happened with Tess, and I'm really butchering this explanation. So Sylvie is a judge, like in court, a judge, but it seems like something like happened when she was younger. Like she lied, I think, about something to do with Linda, who is one of like her classmates in school, but she's not like come into it yet. She's just been mentioned. So something's happened where she's like lied about it, and something has gone on. I'm realizing through this video how hard it is to speak about thrillers and not like spoil anything. maybe I'll do this challenge again and not do it as a spoiler free one, just so I can actually talk about stuff, because I'm so worried about saying the wrong thing and spoiling it. But anyway, yeah, it's following them, it's following their story. Something happened in 1989 where someone died, and something I'm assuming is going to happen present day with the same people type thing. But yeah, that's kind of where it's up to. I'm not vibing with Gareth, but I'm not really sure what the twist is going to be. I don't know who is actually going to be in the wrong at the end. I have no idea where this is going to go, but I think it's written really well. It's like really easy to follow, the same as the other books, and like I say, it switches from present day to 1989, but I've also got like in there just like a page or two of someone else's point of view. So like at one point at the beginning, it's like point of view of a fox who was there when someone died, and then it does like a time where it's the person that's actually dying. Obviously we don't know who it is, but it's from their point of view, how much pain they're in and stuff. Then it does like a cameraman's point of view. It's like really random people, but trying to like hint at what's happened, which I think is really cool. I've not really seen that before, because it's not necessarily a character, like you don't get to know the person. It's just like one to two pages of the kind of like how they've seen the murder happen, which I think is really cool. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. I'm getting through it. I don't think it's quite as like flowing as easily as the housemaid ones were, but I don't know if that's just me or like how it's written, you know. But yeah, let's see how it happens. I've absolutely no idea what's gonna happen. I couldn't even hazard a guess. Okay, so I just finished It Ends at Midnight by Harriet Tice. I quite enjoyed it. I did not see the ending coming. I think the few twists were like really sort of, like I say, I didn't see coming, were like quite shocking, so it was good. It wasn't very predictable, so that was good. But I think probably, I don't know, halfway through, like I feel like some of it was unnecessary. Like it was unnecessarily long-winded in parts, and I just think it could have got deleted, you know. Part of it halfway through, it was just kind of going on with itself, and I was a bit like, can we get to the point, you know? We get to the end of the plot. But I do think it was written like really well. The actual plot, like the storyline, was written really well. I just think it was sort of dragged on for a bit, I think, during the middle. But the ending was really good. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, I didn't see it coming, and I liked how it was written from present, past, and it like joined the two sort of timelines together in a way that made sense. It made perfect sense. And like I say, it was quite like shocking, the twists and turns. There was a few of them actually, to be fair. So yeah, overall I did enjoy it. I think I would probably give it a 3, because I definitely did not enjoy it as much as the Frida McFadden ones, but I think maybe the twist I saw even less in this one. I didn't see it coming at all, so I think maybe that like makes it a little bit better, but it definitely wasn't as good as the others. I didn't enjoy it as much as the others, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 as thrillers go, but I still enjoyed it. I think it's still a good read. Like it's not a bad read, it just maybe wasn't for me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Another day, another book. So today it is the 4th day of my challenge. I'm actually really surprised. Like I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to read a book a day, and now I've done it for 3 days in a row. So I'm actually really kind of proud of myself, to be fair, and I've actually really been enjoying it. Like I feel like it's getting me back into reading, you know. As much as I've been reading, I feel like I've been reading like really slowly and not really getting into it, and just reading for the sake of it, and I think this challenge is really getting me back into it. So I think I'm definitely going to do more challenges, and I'm thinking of doing like a 24-hour one. Anyway, I digress. 5 thrillers, 5 days. So we're on book 4 now, so I'm going to read The Silent Patient. I'm actually really looking forward to this because I see it everywhere, and I see whenever anyone asks for a thriller recommendation, this one pops up. So I'm excited to read it. But yeah, I think this is, oh, it's 340 pages-ish, 339 pages. So I I think that's actually quite similar to the other books I've been reading, so hopefully I should be able to finish it today. I'm pretty sure A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I'll be reading hopefully tomorrow if I finish this one today, which I should be doing. Five books, 5 days, that's what I've set myself to do. Yeah, I think A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that's so hard to say. Anyway, I think that one is a little bit bigger, so I might try and finish this like earlier on today and maybe start A Good Girl's Guide to Murder 2 so that I can make sure I get 5 done in 5 days, you know. But yeah, this is today's book, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, I want to say, but I don't think I've said that right. But yeah, this is today's book. Let's see how it goes. So I'm about just over halfway through The Silent Patient, and I can't lie, I'm not really enjoying it that much. I just think I don't really feel like invested in the characters. I'm not really bothered about how it's going to end, you know. And I feel like for a thriller, that's like imperative, isn't it? For any book really, you want to be like intrigued the whole time. I'm gonna finish it, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna like DNF it, but I'm just a bit like, I just don't care. Like, I'm not bothered, you know what I mean? It's not enticing me to want to read the rest of it. I'm not intrigued. Like, I'm not bothered about the storyline. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think the main character, I can't even think of his name, and I've literally just stopped reading it. I've literally just put it down as I put the camera on, and I can't even think of his name. That's how much I'm just not interested in it. But yeah, I just think the main lead, I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm just not vibing with it. Like I say, I'm halfway through, so I don't know how it's going to end. So on that way, it's not like predictable. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that Alicia isn't the one that killed her husband. I think that was obvious from the very beginning. I'm saying that now, imagine if she actually did. But I think that comes across quite obvious from the beginning that she didn't, and something else is going on. But I don't know why she's not speaking. I don't know who could have done it. I haven't got a Scooby-Doo, but I'm not bothered. But I'm gonna finish it to find out, so I guess we'll just read the second half of the book, the next 50%, and yeah, hopefully it'll get a bit more interesting, it'll get a bit better, but definitely gonna finish it, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, first of all, if you see me in this jumper in every single video, please mind your business. It is so comfortable that I probably will have it on every day, so if I do, just let me live, you know, leave me alone. Secondly, I have never been more disappointed in a book in my life. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's the next day and I finished this last night and it was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. Considering the like hype around it as a thriller, it was just not my thing, not for me at all. I just feel like it just didn't make sense. Like, I know that's like, it would have made more sense if he was like a detective or something like that. Like, him being a psychiatrist just made no sense, the main character, to me. It's just like, a psychiatrist, I feel like, wouldn't do all that stuff. And I think if he did, I feel like it would break so many rules. Like, there's so many rules around being, you know, things around mental health. I just feel like it just didn't make any sense to me at all that he was a psychiatrist. I mean, I understand why he needed to be, to like get closer to her and stuff, to like understand her, why she was silent, but it just also didn't make any sense in the like broader picture to me. And even like the sort of twist at the end, I didn't really rate. I didn't necessarily see it coming, but I just also was just like, what? Like, that don't, I wasn't like shocked by it, because I was just like, what on earth has just happened? That makes no sense, you know what I mean? I just think it was trying to like build all this tension and like make you think what on earth's happening, when really I was just like, what actually on earth is happening? Like, not in a way of like, oh, what's gonna happen? It was like, what is going on? what is happening? I'm so confused. And I just feel like I wanted it to end. I just wanted to get through the book. I wasn't enjoying it. I was gonna finish it, but I wasn't like excited to figure out what was going on, you know. I just didn't rate it. I'm so disappointed. I feel like I wasted my time reading it, considering how much hype it gets. It just was not the book for me at all. I would give it 2 out of 5 stars because I just didn't rate it. Like, the fact it says the perfect thriller on the front is just, in my opinion, it wasn't for me. It wasn't my thing. So now that I've managed to get over that disappointment, I'm moving on to my final book of the week, or of the 5 days, which is going to be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm looking forward to this one, and I know it's like part 1 of a series, so I don't know if the 3 books are like 3 different like thrillers, or if they're all the same one. If they're all the same one, that's going to be a bit like, can we just solve this crime now, you know? But I'm not sure if how it's sort of laid out, but I know it's a YA, so I'm hoping it's going to be quite easy to read, quite fast paced. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure they're making this into like a series or a film or something, so I definitely wanted to read it before that comes out. I've got the 2nd book somewhere too, but I don't have the 3rd one yet. But yeah, this is my 5th and final thriller. I think I'll be glad. I don't think I'll be reading thrillers for a bit after this. I'll be glad to have a little bit of a reprieve from them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one, so let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm about halfway through and I'm really enjoying it so far. So it's following Pip and Ravi, who are trying to like solve a murder that Ravi's brother got accused of 5 years ago. So Ravi's brother Sal got accused of the murder and ended up killing himself, but I'm not quite sure that's what actually ended up happening. But supposedly he committed suicide, supposedly because of the guilt, because it was his girlfriend that got murdered. So yeah, they're trying to like solve it, but it's really cool. I really like how it's like laid out. So at first, I won't lie, it took me a minute to get used to the like, it goes from 3rd person in the chapter, and then Pip is writing like logs of, you know, what's going on, who she's speaking to, and then like transcripts. And it took me a minute to get used to it going from 3rd person to 1st person. I was getting a bit confused. Like, obviously it was saying I, and then it was going from she, and I was like, she, who's she talking about now? And then realizing it's in 3rd person now, so that did take me a little minute to get used to. But other than that, I think it's really like easy to follow. It's written quite like fast paced, you know. I feel like I'm getting through it pretty quickly and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really like wanting to figure out what they're trying to figure out, you know. So I've got a few more hours to sit here before I need to start work, so I think probably I'll get it all read in this sitting, to be fair, because like I say, I'm getting through it quite quickly and I'm really enjoying it so far. Now that I've got used to the 1st person 3rd person switch up, I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I really like how it's like laid out, going from, you know, narrating what Pip and Ravi are up to, then it's like her logs while she's trying to solve the like murder and trying to figure out what's going on. It's like all the things that she's done, all of her like theories, who her suspects are, stuff like that. And then you've got like transcripts, which I think is a really cool way of doing it. Rather than it just being a conversation, it's like written out like a transcript. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's written really well and I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm also excited to finish it in the way that I want to know what's happened, you know. So yeah. Okay, so I have finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've literally just sat here all morning and just like binge read it. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I think before, my only issues were getting used to the 3rd and 1st person, but other than that, once I got like over that, I got used to it and my simple mind figured it out. I like was really getting into it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't guess the ending whatsoever. I didn't see it coming. I sort of had little things that it sort of the kind of person it would be, but the actual person, like, I didn't see it coming at all. I thought it was a really good ending, and honestly I really thought I'd figured it out. Like, reading it, I was like, it's so obvious. But yeah, I didn't see it coming. I didn't guess it at all. I think I'm just gonna go straight into reading the next ones because I want to know how, because I feel like this is wrapped up like really well in this one book. So I don't know if the next one, if she's just going into like solving another crime, or if it's something related to this crime, or you know, if something else happens in the town, or if it's even Pip that's figuring it out. I'm assuming it must be. I'm assuming Pip's probably the sort of main character of them all, the sort of lead investigator, if you will, of all 3 books. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to carry on, because I think you could read this and that it's like a full book, like it's a standalone. You could read it and it's all wrapped up. You don't necessarily need to read the next ones, I don't think. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. Can you do half stars? I know people normally do half stars. Or can I do it in like 0.25 increments, maybe? I think I'm going to give it 4.5 because I really enjoyed it. My only issue why it's not 5 is because it took me probably longer than the regular person, but it took me a minute to get used to the different like points of views, the third and first person. So that's the only reason why it's not getting 5. But I really enjoyed the story, the like plot. I really enjoyed the characters. I felt invested in it all, and the sort of murder mystery like thriller twists I thought were really good. And like I say, I didn't see the ending coming, so I really enjoyed this. I would recommend reading it. I think it would be really good as a bit of a, maybe like a reading slump book, because it's so easy to get into, and because it's YA, it's written like quite fast paced, it's really easy to understand, you know. I think it would be a really good book for that. But yeah, 4.5 stars for this one. I feel like now that I'm doing like 0.5, I feel like I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed The Housemaid, so maybe I'd give that one, did I give that one just 4? I can't remember. So I think The Housemaid I would give 4.5. The Housemaid's Tale I think was the second one, I would give 4. It Ends at Midnight, I think, did I give that 3? Silent Patient is 2. It would be 1 if I didn't feel so mean about it. And this one I would give 4.5. So yeah, this one and The Housemaid I think were my favourite out of the 5 books. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, The Housemaid and this one would be my favourite out of those 5 books, definitely. But I'm going to have a break, I think, from reading thrillers now. I was thinking, oh, I'll go straight into the next book, but I think because of this series, but because this one was rounded off so much, I feel like I could go into the next book in like a few weeks and not feel like I need to reread this, if that makes sense. Like, it's not one that I'm not going to remember the story and not know what's going on type thing if I read the second one later on. I'm actually really proud of myself for reading 5 books in 5 days, 4 of which were physical books. So I feel like I've actually done really well there and made a big dent in my physical TBR. So yeah, I'm very proud of myself for reading 5 thrillers in 5 days. I put this down now, I don't know why I'm like this when I'm not even talking about this book. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'm proud of myself for reading 5 books in 5 days. I did find it quite tough, like I feel like I'm really tired, but I think that's just because I've been getting up earlier to like get in time to read, but I've also been enjoying that because I found myself getting in a bit of a like slump where I'm getting up like 10 minutes before I need to be at work, like on my laptop working from home. So it's been like really good to get up and just take my time in the morning and sit down and read for a bit before I actually have to start work. So I actually think in that aspect I might carry on doing that. But yeah, that is the end of this challenge. 5 thrillers in 5 days. I think I might do another one maybe in a few weeks. I also want to do a 24-hour challenge, but I'm not sure, like I'm 26 now and I'm not sure I could cope with actually staying awake for 24 hours. I think it would be a real detriment to me for a good few days afterwards. So maybe I'll do it in like 2 12-hour shifts, something like that. So it's still a real proper challenge to read for 12 hours and do the same the next day. But I'm not 100% sure I could stay awake for 24 hours and it not affect me in a negative way. So we'll see, but I definitely want to do that soon. And I think maybe I'll do a like reading romance for a week or reading fantasy for a week. I also want to do one reading debut novels, so I'm currently getting like a list of ones, so that's probably will be in a few videos of me reading debut novels for a week, maybe 5 in 5 days, or maybe I'll just read them for a week, see how many I pick up. But yeah, that's definitely a book, that's definitely a challenge I want to do. And yeah, anyway, that's it from me rambling on with myself. That is the challenge done. 5 thrillers in 5 days. and my first time properly rating books also, which I quite enjoyed. But I feel like I probably am someone that's going to change those ratings depending on how I feel about other books, you know. But anyway, that is it from me. Let me stop going on with myself. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that too. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in a bit.